Men in court over alleged struggle snuggle of 12-year-old girl. Guess the names. Anyway, two men have appeared in court charged in connection with the rape of a 12-year-old. Damn it, I said the word. Oh well. 12-year-old girl in Nuneaton. Ahmad Milakil faces two rape charges, while Mohammed Kabir is accused of kidnap, strangulation, and aiding and abetting the rape of a girl aged under 13. All up and down the country, this stuff keeps happening. These are just the ones that we know about. And this one we almost didn't know about because the police tried to cover it up. But anyway, Warwickshire City County Council leader George Finch has alleged the two men were asylum seekers, which the BBC has been unable to verify independently, and accused Warwickshire Police and the Home Office of covering up their immigration status. Police refused to disclose further details, saying, "Once someone is charged with an offence, we follow national guidance. This guidance does not include sharing ethnicity or immigration status, and the reason that they're not doing it is they don't want a riot." Basically, again, I've just spoke about it in the last video where they're monitoring the internet for anti-migrant sentiment. They hate the fact that the public are starting to get really sick of this stupid experiment that the government's doing, where it's like, yeah, we need a bunch of cheap wages to come in, even though it's costing us like hundreds of millions like a day. Because one of the theories is it's the upcoming war with China. China has lots of people, so we need lots of people so that we can fight them. Yeah, good luck getting them to die for our flag. They came over here to rape and steal. They didn't come over here to fucking help us. But anyway, in a statement to the BBC, the Home Office said, "Foreign nationals who commit crimes should be in no doubt that the law will be enforced and justice delivered." Even though a lot of them are getting away with little slaps on the wrists, whereas we've got a little Facebook mum serving a 3-year sentence over a fucking Facebook post. Mr. Milakil, 23, appeared before magistrates in Coventry on 28th July, with Mr. Kabir, also aged 23, appearing before magistrates on Saturday. The pair, both from the Warwickshire town, will next appear at Warwick Crown Court on 26th of August. It has been reported, but not officially confirmed, that they are Afghan nationals. Anyone who was in the Cheverell Street area of Nuneaton between 8:30 and 9:30 on 22nd July and saw anything of interest is urged to come forward by Warwickshire Police. Risk to public order. This is the thing that they care about. They don't care about the little girls all being raped everywhere. They care about the poor little migrants, having people say mean things about them on the internet and get their hotels bombed and stuff like that. Well, that's what happens when people get that fucking fed up. Finch, who at 19 became the youngest council leader in the UK and represents Reform UK, published a letter on his social media accounts on Sunday, addressed to the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, the Chief Constable of Warwickshire Police Alex Franklin Smith, and the Chief Executive of the Council Monica Fogarty. He said Miss Fogarty had told him that Mr. Kabir was an asylum seeker living in a house of multiple occupancy. Residents had very easily been able to join the dots together and conclude that the men were asylum seekers, he said. Residents of Warwickshire can see that they have not been told the full story, he said, because the government doesn't want you knowing about all the horrible, horrible effects that its little stupid experiment is happening on the populace. They don't want you knowing about that, because then you get angry and then you might become a threat to the government's power. And the government keeping its power and continuing its little diversity experiment means is so much more important to them than the safety of little girls. They don't care. Government's evil. They don't give a shit about you. They genuinely don't give a fuck. But anyway, I'm disgusted that 1 year on from the social unrest that we saw in parts of the UK in 2024, the Home Office and the police have clearly not learned any lessons from the handling of similar incidents last year. He added, "I strongly believe that the only risk to public order from this case in Warwickshire comes from the cover-up itself." Yeah, once that comes out, people are going to boog. People are going to boog once it comes out, because then it just proves that there's probably hundreds of cases that we don't know about that the courts and the police and the media are burying because they don't want to cause another kick-off. This is happening everywhere all over the country. Speaking alongside Finch at a press conference in Westminster on Monday, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage linked a perceived lack of information from police to what happened in Southport last July. Farage told the event he wanted to discuss a cover-up that in many ways is reminiscent of what happened after the Southport killings last year. "It is not in any way at all a contempt of court for the British public to know the identity of those who allegedly have committed serious crimes," he added. "I felt that in the wake of the Southport attacks and I feel that ever more strongly today. When asked if police should release the ethnicity of people charged with offences, the Prime Minister's official spokesman said that the police and the courts were operationally independent, but the principle was to be as transparent as possible. This is clearly a deeply upsetting and distressing case which the public are right to feel shocked and angry about, he added. In relation... Oh dear. In relation to this case, sorry, there's a storm going on right now. Storm Flores or whatever, and I'm just kind of worried about my windows, but it'll be fine. In relation to this case, the individuals have been charged and are now in a live investigation. In a statement, Warwickshire Police and Crime Commissioner Philip Seckham said, "It is essential to state that policing decisions, such as whether to release details about a suspect, must follow national guidance and legal requirements." You literally doxed my address, police and media. You literally doxed my address and had photos of the house I was living in at the time in the papers and on the news. Like, you doxed where I live. My house got attacked. Right, and all I did was tell a spicy meme. These fuckers raped a little girl. And you're like, oh no, we have to be... Oh yeah, now it matters. Now it matters, eh? Oh, go and fuck yourself. In a statement... Oh, in fact, in relation to this case, the individuals... Have I read all of this? I don't know. Sorry. This is clearly a deeply upsetting and distressing case, which the public are right to feel shocked and angry about, he added. In relation to this case, the individuals have been charged and are now in a live investigation. And in fact, I have read all this. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm tired. He added that he would not speculate on the personal circumstances of those involved while court proceedings were active. The BBC has contacted Warwickshire County Council for comment. Now, this is just one that they tried to cover up. They tried to hide the ethnicity of that actual fucking loser, the guy that did the Southport killings, and it resulted in a riot. And basically, and then when it turned out that they had lied about it and hid information, it resulted in an even bigger riot. And everybody was saying, no, it's not terror related, it's not this or that related. And then what happened is when it finally went to court, it came out that he was in possession of Al-Qaeda training manuals and all this other type of stuff, which means, yes, it was terror related. Right? This is the stuff that we get lied to about all the time. Right? The courts, the police, and the media cover up so much stuff because they are worried about everybody booging. Right? They are worried about everybody booging. Now, do I think there will be a full-scale boog? No, I don't think there will be. I think it's going to get pretty fucking close before the government goes, okay, and then finally winds their neck in. I think. Does the government deserve a boog? No comment. I haven't had to speak to my lawyer in quite a while. Well, one of them. I've got a bunch of lawyers now. But I haven't had to speak to that one in quite a wee while, and I would like to keep it that way. But things are starting to get very, very bad. The public are starting to get very, very fed up. The natives are starting to get very, very fed up because these things are happening all the time. Loads of them are being covered up. This is one that they attempted to cover up, which means that there's loads more that we probably don't even know about that's happening all over the country. Right? People are starting to get very, very fed up. If there is one thing that if a society cannot protect its own children, it is a failed society. The entire point of us, as humans, is you pass your genes on to your offspring. If you want to make it get a little bit Kojima here, you pass your genes off to your offspring, and it's literally inbuilt into our instincts to tear anything apart that comes near our children. Right? The lioness ripping things apart for even looking at their cubs the wrong way, or the mother bear fucking murdering everything in fucking sight because, to be fair, grizzly bears, I understand you're protecting your young, but you take it a little bit too far. But anyway, a society that can't protect its children is a failed society, right? People are starting to get very rightly angry and upset about this. And, well, I'm not going to go full Tim Pool, but we're getting pretty fucking close.